In the year 3145, the Galactic Council had long since established a decree no sentient species was to approach the planet known as Earth. The law was based on historical records and archived communications that spoke of humans as unparalleled masters of war. They were a species whose ingenuity and ferocity in combat were unmatched, and their war machines and strategies were considered legendary. However, it had been centuries since anyone had direct contact with them, and Earth was surrounded by a vast no-go zone. Captain VX of the Venari Starfleet had always been a bit of a renegade, and the stories of Earth's fearsome warriors intrigued him more than they frightened him. Despite the warnings, he felt a pull towards the blue planet, now seemingly abandoned and quiet. Curiosity gnawed at him until he could resist no longer. Ignoring the Council's decree, he set a course for the Sol system, determined to uncover the truth about these legendary humans. As the Venari ship, the Intrepid, approached Earth, Captain VX and his crew marveled at the sight of the planet from space. It looked peaceful and inviting, a stark contrast to the terrifying tales. The ship descended through the atmosphere and landed in what appeared to be a deserted city. Tall buildings, now covered in vines and overgrowth, stood as silent witnesses to a bygone era. The crew disembarked and began to explore, their initial trepidation giving way to curiosity. They found ancient relics of war, rusted tanks, abandoned aircraft, and remnants of towering robotic war machines. But there were no signs of life, human or otherwise. It was as if humanity had simply vanished. "Captain, look at this," said First Officer Zala, pointing to a crumbling statue. The inscription read, "In honor of those who fought and fell for freedom." The sentiment was a stark reminder of the humans' warlike nature and their dedication to their causes. Captain VX nodded thoughtfully. It seems they were not just warriors, but also deeply committed to their ideals. As they ventured further, the Venari team discovered a massive structure that appeared to be a government or military building. It loomed over the cityscape, its once imposing facade now marred by time and decay. With a mixture of apprehension and excitement, they approached the entrance. The building's interior was dark and filled with debris, the crew's lanterns casting eerie shadows on the walls, revealing murals and inscriptions that told stories of battles fought and victories won. They pressed on, navigating through the labyrinthine corridors until they found a set of heavy, reinforced doors. Captain VX hesitated for a moment before pushing them open. The doors creaked loudly, echoing through the empty halls. Inside, they found a vast command center, preserved almost perfectly. The technology was archaic yet advanced, a testament to the ingenuity of human engineers. The legends were true, and the humans were indeed masters of war, now sleeping giants awaiting reawakening. "Captain, what should we do?" asked Engineer R, his voice tinged with both fear and excitement. VX pondered for a moment. The discovery was beyond anything he had imagined. They stood at the precipice of potentially altering the galaxy's balance of power. "We need to proceed with caution. Let's gather as much information as we can without disturbing their systems further." Over the next few days, the crew meticulously cataloged the technology and data within the command center. They found detailed records of human history, warfare, and technological advancements. It became evident that humanity's prowess in war was matched only by their resilience and adaptability. One evening, while poring over the documents, VX stumbled upon a personal log from General Adams. It detailed the final days before the stasis was initiated. The general spoke of the hope that one day humanity would reawaken to a galaxy that had learned the lessons of their past wars and moved towards peace. In the center of the room was a large console with a single blinking light. Captain VX approached and, without fully understanding what he was doing, activated the console. The room hummed to life as screens flickered on, displaying data and maps. A holographic image of a human appeared, dressed in military attire. "Welcome," the hologram said. "I am General Adams, Commander of the United Earth Forces. If you are seeing this message, it means that humanity has entered stasis, awaiting the day when we can emerge and rebuild." The crew exchanged astonished looks. Stasis? Could it be that humans were not extinct, but merely asleep, waiting for the right moment to return? The hologram continued. "Earth has faced countless wars, each more devastating than the last. To preserve our species, we developed stasis technology, putting our population into a deep sleep until such a time as the galaxy is ready for us to return. But beware, should you awaken us prematurely, you will face the full might of humanity's wrath." Captain VX felt a chill run down his spine. He expressed a desire for humans to contribute to that peace, using their knowledge and strength not for domination but for protection. VX felt a renewed sense of purpose. Perhaps he thought the humans could indeed be allies, guiding the galaxy towards a more stable future. But first, he needed to ensure their awakening would not be seen as an act of aggression. As they prepared to leave Earth, Captain VX knew they had only scratched the surface of the planet's mysteries. He also knew that his actions would have far-reaching consequences. The Council would need to be informed, and precautions would need to be taken. As the Intrepid ascended back into space, VX took one last look at the now reawakening Earth. The humans were no longer just legends, they were a living part of the galaxy's future, and it was up to him to ensure that future was a bright one. The Intrepid returned to the Venari homeworld, carrying with it the weight of its monumental discovery. Captain VX's report to the Galactic Council was met with a mixture of disbelief and alarm. The Council members, representing various species across the galaxy, convened an emergency session to deliberate on the implications of humanity's potential reawakening. In the Grand Chamber of the Council, holographic representations of the Council members flickered to life. The air was thick with tension as VX stood before them, recounting his expedition and the human state of stasis. Captain VX intoned Chancellor Thea, a regal and composed Thean, "You have violated one of our most sacred decrees. Do you understand the gravity of your actions?" VX met her gaze steadily. "I do, Chancellor, but I believe that this discovery, while dangerous, also presents an unprecedented opportunity for our galaxy. The humans were not merely warriors, they were visionaries and strategists. Their knowledge could be invaluable." The chamber buzzed with murmurs. Councillor Kor, a grizzled veteran of the Rican Wars, leaned forward. "And what of the warning they left, that awakening them prematurely would invoke their wrath?" VX nodded. "I do not suggest awakening them recklessly, but we must acknowledge their existence and prepare for their eventual reawakening. With the right approach, we could potentially form an alliance." After hours of heated debate, the Council reached a reluctant consensus. Adams considered his words carefully. "A partnership? After all these centuries? Do you think the galaxy is ready for humanity?" "We must try," VX replied earnestly. "Your people have much to offer, and we have much to learn. Together, we can forge a stronger, more united galaxy." The general nodded slowly. "Very well, Captain. We will give this alliance a chance. But know this: humanity will not be subjugated. We will stand as equals, or not at all." In the aftermath, Captain VX and General Adams stood amidst the wreckage, surveying the damage. Rex's face was grim. "This was a deliberate act to sow distrust between us." Adams nodded, his expression hard. "We cannot let them succeed. We must show them that we are stronger together." With renewed determination, the delegation and the humans redoubled their efforts to build a lasting partnership. Security was tightened and communication channels were strengthened. Joint operations were conducted to root out further threats and ensure the safety of the reawakening process. As the days passed, a tentative but growing bond formed between the humans and the delegation. They worked side by side, sharing knowledge and technology. The humans, with their strategic minds and indomitable spirit, began to see the potential for a new chapter in their history. One evening, as the sun set over the revitalized city, Captain VX and General Adams stood on a balcony overlooking the bustling streets below. Meanwhile, humans were becoming increasingly aware of the galaxy's fragmented state and the potential challenges they would face in asserting their place. As the reawakening process continued, humanity's military and industrial capabilities rapidly ramped up. General Adams and his officers worked tirelessly to rebuild their defense infrastructure. The sight of war machines and advanced weaponry being restored to operational status was both awe-inspiring and unsettling for the other species in the Alliance. Captain VX and his delegation remained on Earth, maintaining constant dialogue with human leaders. Diplomatic efforts intensified, but so did the undercurrents of fear and suspicion. The dissenting coalition within the Council, led by High Councillor Kor, grew bolder in their opposition. In a clandestine meeting on the icy moon of Narak, Kor convened with representatives from several species who shared his apprehensions. "We cannot allow humanity to regain its full strength," Kor declared, his voice cold and resolute. "Their history of war and conquest will only bring destruction. We must act now before it is too late." The assembled delegates murmured in agreement. Plans were laid for a coordinated strike on Earth's reawakening infrastructure. It was a desperate measure, but they believed it was the only way to prevent a future dominated by human militarism. Meanwhile, on Earth, General Adams received intelligence reports about unusual activities among the dissenting factions. Suspecting an imminent attack, he called an emergency meeting with Captain VX and the delegation. "We have credible reports of a planned assault on our facilities," Adams stated, his tone grim. "We must prepare for the worst." VX nodded, his mind racing. "We'll alert the Council and reinforce our defenses. This alliance must not fall apart." As preparations were underway, the skies above Earth darkened with the arrival of an unauthorized fleet. The dissenting coalition had launched their preemptive strike. Explosions rocked key facilities, and battles erupted in the streets. The Venari delegation, caught off guard, scrambled to coordinate with human forces. VX and his team fought alongside the humans, defending critical points and evacuating civilians from danger zones. The ferocity of the assault was staggering, and the conflict threatened to spiral out of control. In the midst of the chaos, General Adams took command of the defense. His strategic brilliance shone as he orchestrated counterattacks and rallied his troops. The humans, though outnumbered, fought with unparalleled determination and skill. Captain VX, witnessing the intensity of the conflict, understood why humanity had earned their reputation. Their resilience and adaptability were extraordinary, yet he also saw the potential for a different future, one where this strength could be harnessed for peace. After days of intense fighting, the tide began to turn. The human forces, bolstered by the delegation's support, managed to repel the attackers. The dissenting fleet was routed, and the remnants fled into the depths of space. As the dust settled, Earth's landscape bore the scars of battle. Buildings were damaged and casualties were mourned, but amid the wreckage, a renewed sense of unity emerged. The humans and the delegation had fought side by side, forging bonds of trust and camaraderie. In the aftermath, the Galactic Council convened an emergency session. High Counselor Kor and his co-conspirators were arrested and brought to trial for their actions. The Council, shaken by the near catastrophe, reaffirmed its commitment to the alliance with humanity. General Adams addressed the Council, his presence commanding respect. "This conflict has shown us the dangers of fear and mistrust, but it has also shown us the strength of unity and cooperation. Humanity stands ready to defend peace, not to conquer. Let this be a new beginning for all of us." Captain VX stood beside him, his heart swelling with pride and hope. "We have proven that together we are stronger. Let us move forward as allies, building a future where war is no longer our legacy, but peace is our destiny." The council members, moved by their words and the sacrifices made, pledged to support the rebuilding efforts on Earth and to strengthen the alliance. A new era dawned, one forged in the crucible of conflict, but tempered by the resolve for lasting peace. As the humans continued their reawakening, they did so with the knowledge that their past would not define their future. Guided by the principles of unity and mutual respect, they embraced their role as protectors and partners in the galaxy's ongoing journey towards harmony. The galaxy watched with bated breath as the alliance solidified, hopeful that this new chapter would bring about a brighter, more peaceful future for all. The galaxy stood at a crossroads. The recent conflict had tested the fledgling alliance between humanity and the Galactic Council, but it had also forged stronger bonds and deeper understanding. As Earth's skies cleared and reconstruction began, the real work of building a united future commenced. In the heart of the revitalized command center, Captain VX, General Adams, and representatives from various species gathered to discuss the path forward. The room buzzed with a sense of cautious optimism. VX looked around, noting the diverse faces and realizing that this was a historic moment, the birth of a truly interstellar alliance. General Adams began the meeting. "We have faced many challenges, and we will face many more, but today we stand united. Our goal is clear: to ensure peace and prosperity for all species in our galaxy." Ambassador Lyra of the Thean spoke next. "We must formalize our alliance, creating a framework that ensures mutual respect and cooperation. Our first step should be the establishment of a Galactic Council base on Earth." VX nodded in agreement. "A shared base would symbolize our commitment to unity. It will also facilitate better communication and quicker response times to any future threats." As plans for the new base were laid out, discussions turned to the integration of technology and resources. The humans offered to share their advanced military technology and strategic expertise, while other species contributed their unique strengths, whether in science, diplomacy, or industry. Over the next few months, Earth transformed into a bustling hub of interstellar activity. The Galactic Council base, constructed with input from all member species, stood as a beacon of cooperation. Scientists from various worlds collaborated on projects to enhance medical technologies, improve environmental sustainability, and develop new energy sources. Humanity's war machines, once symbols of destruction, were repurposed for constructive endeavors. Massive robotic units aided in rebuilding cities, while drones helped in agricultural projects to ensure food security. The fusion of human innovation with the diverse technologies of other species led to unprecedented advancements. Despite the progress, there were still pockets of resistance. Some feared the alliance, worrying that it was merely a prelude to human domination. To address these concerns, the Council organized a series of open forums and cultural exchanges, allowing different species to share their histories, traditions, and aspirations. One such forum took place in New Unity, the name given to the rebuilt city where the Council base was located. Representatives from dozens of species gathered in a vast auditorium, each given a chance to speak. Stories of struggle and survival were shared, highlighting the commonalities that bound them together. A young Venari diplomat named Kira spoke passionately. "We have all faced challenges, but it is our resilience and our willingness to adapt that make us strong. By embracing our differences and working together, we can create a future where war is a relic of the past." Her words resonated deeply, drawing applause and affirming nods from the audience. The cultural exchanges fostered a deeper appreciation for each species' unique contributions and reinforced the alliance's foundation. As the alliance strengthened, so did its influence. The newly formed Galactic Peacekeeping Force, a combined military unit, patrolled the galaxy's borders, deterring piracy and resolving conflicts before they could escalate. Led by experienced human and alien commanders, the force became a symbol of hope and security. One of the Peacekeeping Force's first missions was to mediate a dispute between two neighboring star systems on the brink of war. The mission, led by Captain VX and General Adams, showcased the Alliance's commitment to peaceful resolution and cooperation. Their success not only prevented bloodshed but also solidified the Alliance's reputation as a force for good. Back on Earth, the integration continued. Schools and universities welcomed students from across the galaxy, fostering a new generation of leaders who valued diversity and cooperation. Children of different species played together in the parks of New Unity, embodying the Alliance's hopeful future. One evening, as the sun set over the city, Captain VX and General Adams stood on the balcony of the Council base. The skyline was a testament to what they had achieved: skyscrapers of alien design mingled with human architecture, all illuminated by the warm glow of progress. "We've come a long way," VX said, his voice filled with pride. Adams nodded, "Indeed, and this is just the beginning."